Hey Amazon sellers, my name is Arful and I'm going to be going through Amazon seller entities in this video and explain to you the basics as well as some more details to give you the reasons why you should choose one entity and why you should not choose the other. Your entities can be a few different ones, such as like sole proprietorship, limited company, a LLC, or a partnership or similar. And as you have noticed while you're trying to open that account on Amazon during your registration process, or you might have already opened an account and you're wondering if you chose the right one or no. So if you want to switch from one to other, this video will help you. And if you also get the pre-suggestions and give you the reasons why you should choose one compared to other, this video will also help you. Before we go any further, let's move into what is a sole proprietorship, what is a limited company, and what is an LLC. I'm going to be covering only these three because these three are the most commonly asked 95% of the time, outside 100% of the time in our expertise. What is sole proprietorship? Sole proprietorship is something, a business owned by one person or one individual. So if it's yourself who is watching the video right now, it's you could own a business with a trade name which is not a company but a business, and you are the sole owner, solely responsible for selling for any damage to clients' properties or health through your products or any claims against yourself, as well as you're responsible for the tax directly on the business as a person. So sole proprietorship is commonly known for most people who prefer to trade as a tradesperson, such as like a plumber, builder, or a window cleaner, car valeter. So these are the people who usually go for sole tradership or sole proprietorship. You fall into similar category, not the actual same job category or business category or service category, but you do fall into the same actual type of trade category, which is like, you are trading as a sole trader or sole proprietor. You might have heard about or you might have met people who are already sole traders. I'm sure this is making sense. It will make more sense when I compare or tell you what a limited company is and what a LLC is in the USA. So now that you know what a sole trader is or sole proprietor is, I'm going to move into what is a limited company in the UK. Now, anybody watching from the USA or outside the UK or within the UK, you can comfortably take this information, and I am going to tell you right now what is a limited company. So a limited company can be formed by one person, one shareholder, or multiple shareholders or multiple people at the same time. You don't have to have the same amount of shares in the company, which gives you the benefit from the profit. You can instead choose different type of percentages for different type of owners or shareholders about how much should they have, how much should they not have. Yourself as a director, if you put yourself down as a director, you can be responsible for the actual company in terms of like making a decision in the company, be a significant controller of that actual company, as well as you can pay salaries to your staff, allocate dividends to your other directors, or you can also make changes to the company formation, such as like what type of actual SOC code should you have, and also who can you add as a shareholder. If somebody wanted to join your company, can they join as a shareholder, invest some money into it, or can they join as a secretary, or can they be another director of the company with some shares in the business? So limited company is usually formed in the UK with Companies House, and it is a very easy process to set up a limited company. But then again, if you need somebody to set it up for you, you're not from the UK or you're from the UK and you need somebody to set it up for you, speak to an accountant or a specialist who can do that for you rather than doing it yourself, as Amazon seller support can be very picky on what information being put and how you have set up the company, how you are going to actually get verified in Amazon Seller Central. If you're struggling to find somebody and you need to speak to a specialist, we can set it up out for you. We're Sterlinx Global. We are an accountants and VAT firm for Amazon and e-commerce sellers. Visit our website from the link below, sterlinxglobal.com, and you will get to meet me or one of my colleagues over Zoom, telephone, or email, and we will set you up. Okay, so next question is, what is LLC in USA? LLC can be formed by one or two or multiple members. In the UK limited company, you have shareholders or directors. You can have non-responsible directors or responsible directors. You can have shareholders, such as like a limited company shareholder or another company holding the share. You can also have people working for you under the limited company, as well as you can have multiple businesses under one limited company. However, when it comes to USA LLC, it can be almost similar, but goes by members in LLC. So you can have one member or you can have multiple members in LLC in the USA, and you can set it up in a state like somewhere like Delaware and have it completely tax-free in a way, so you have to only pay certain tax, such as like federal tax as well as sales tax on your sales, which is equal to VAT in the UK. And as a resident in the USA, you may have to pay tax in your actual state where you're located, although you don't have to pay tax in the state where it is registered. So it can be a bit complicated in terms of the tax consultation. You can speak to us if you need some help. We can help you understanding the process a bit better. However, an LLC is formed by one or two members, and which can be owned by a local, national, or international owner in the USA, and it is not a sole proprietorship. It is a limited liability company, which allows you to open in the USA at a similar form of UK limited company. So don't complicate yourself too much if you're from the UK and you're listening to this video. Just imagine it's a type of company that almost equals to a limited company in the UK. Okay, and you do need a lawyer or representative or a specialist to open the company for you in the USA. You can speak to us or another specialist to do that for you and advise you accordingly and sort this out for you for your Amazon business. Now that you know what a sole proprietorship is and what a limited company is, as well as what a LLC is, now we will move to the next stage of the video. Before you decide what type of entity should you choose, let's jump into a bit more understanding of the reasons why we recommend one and why you don't recommend. So first of all, you need to know which is most tax beneficial. I'm going to go straight into the actual sole proprietorship tax issues that you can have. So in terms of tax beneficial, sole proprietorship or sole trader type of businesses are our least preferred type of businesses that we recommend on Amazon. There are multiple reasons why. There are also the tax benefits that do not qualify you from having from the actual governments or tax offices due to the way that legislations are set for sole traders or sole proprietors. So in a usual case scenario, you'd be paying a lot more tax being a sole trader in the UK or sole proprietor in the USA. Tax efficiency in limited company for UK and foreign owners. Since you know, straightforward, the sole proprietorship is not tax friendly and the least tax friendliest choice by us, definitely move towards the next understanding for limited company tax efficiency. If you are from the UK or if you're not from the UK and you are willing to open a limited company in the UK, we highly recommend you do so. The reason for it, you can get multiple tax benefits over having a sole trader business while limited company. Now, do you remember limited company has a flat tax rate of 19%, which is the current rate. It might have changed by the time you watch the video. However, the actual directors or shareholders may or may not pay any tax at all, depending on where you live. If you are a resident of the UK, you'll be responsible to pay tax on dividend and have your self-assessment end of the year. If you're taking a salary, which you do not recommend, because that's the least preferred way of being a tax efficient director of a limited company. If you are a foreign owner, we recommend to open a limited company in the UK, as there is usually no tax for a foreign owner on an individual basis in the UK, although you have to pay the actual limited company tax, which is called corporation tax, and the flat rate 90%, as explained before in the explanation. Now I'm going to move into the final one, which is the LLC. Now LLC is a limited liability company that is formed in the USA, in any state in the USA. Now there are 50 states, and you can choose a couple of states that are tax beneficial to a foreign owner or a resident owner. Now for a resident owner, you may benefit a lot more having an LLC than having a sole proprietorship, simply because the reason you can open an LLC in a different state compared to where you are actually currently living. It goes same for the actual business owners who want to operate on Amazon or Amazon.com in the USA or rest of the world. You can simply open an LLC somewhere like Delaware and pay 0% tax. The LLC is the most preferred way of doing business, either you are from the USA or not from the USA, compared to three of these choices that we have on this list. So next in my list is liabilities. Do you want to be solely responsible for damages caused by your business? So why should you choose a limited company or LLC but not a sole proprietorship or sole trader business? Let's imagine you're selling some baby products on Amazon and a baby choked or burned their hand or cut their leg and went to the hospital, or had some allergic reactions that caused them to go to the hospital, and that's due to the product that you have sold, and the person is most likely going to be taking legal actions against you. So when I say against you, that directly comes towards Amazon, because you're selling on Amazon, and Amazon is going to pass the responsibilities to yourself because you are the third party seller on their platform. So it also refers to being a sole trader against you directly. When somebody comes to sue you, the legal fees can be enormous just to defend it or just by letters to communicate it. The legal representatives are not cheap to deal with, and they are very expensive when it comes to cases like this. It wouldn't even have to go to the stage of court. Before it goes to that, you possibly will be drained out, and you'll find out this business is not worthwhile anymore for you when you're trading as sole proprietor, because that person is directly coming to sue you. If you even leave the Amazon business, they can still come after you. Your personal properties, such as like your car if you own it, your house if you own it, or any bank balance that you have in the account, they can sue you and take this from you. And you can also be declared as a bankrupt if you are unable to pay the fees that's been declared to be paid due to damages caused to the person by the court. Now, putting yourself in this position, would you like to take this responsibility as a person? I can already tell you that you don't want to, right? So what's your way out of it? What's the safest way? The safest way is to have an entity that takes that responsibility or can be managed being directly responsible by yourselves. So a limited company is a prime example, and LLC is similar way. Both the limited company and LLC share the same benefit in this example. The person who is suing you or who is trying to sue you is not going to be directly suing you as a person. They are coming after the actual LLC or limited company, which you can decide to keep or close, and they've got no connection with you directly, and they cannot come after your personal properties. Briefly, these are the liabilities I'm talking about. So make a decision based on that. Next is scale and international growth. When you're a sole proprietor or sole trader, it is very difficult to scale your business. The relationship between you and your supplier is not going to be very professional when it comes to large type of businesses. You will eventually be growing as a small sole trader, but compared to a limited company or LLC, the respect you will get usually from them is a lot higher compared to being a sole trader. Most of the suppliers out there, usually from the Far East, you'd finding a sole trader to be a miniature business who is not serious Amazon businesses. They would think you're a startup and you're not fully entitled to the actual growth or scalability of the business of many different ways. Would you like to choose a sole proprietorship because of that reason, or would you like to choose an LLC or a limited company? Now, when I speak about international growth, this is also important for you to understand that international growth happens in Amazon when you start selling and you want to sell the product outside one country to other. So let me give you a prime example. So you're based in the USA or you're based in the UK and you want to start selling in Europe, take advantage of the rest of the European market, which is like, for example, going through Amazon Pan-European FBA program, or go to Germany to begin with, right? What you'll have to do now is register for VAT and tax. So value added tax. So once you go to register for VAT, it is extremely difficult. Is 99% of the time is a no-go to register as a sole trader or sole proprietor in Germany or one of the European countries while you're not a resident of that country. But if you are a LLC or limited company, the process is smooth and no question asked. Matter of waiting after you delegate to somebody like ourselves, fill out the form, send out the documents, and gets taken care of. Seamless team. And you will be enjoying the process rather than being stressful. Don't forget your responsibilities for tax in your own country is going to be a lot more complicated if you are a sole trader or a sole proprietor and you're trading internationally. And your questions of actual personal properties get asked by the taxman. How did you get this property? Like, for example, your assets, and they will be going through a lot more investigations compared to the actual limited company or the LLC, depending on the situation that you're dealing with. Next on my list from that reason is investors. Why should you realize that investors are very important for your business? Now imagine you want to grow your business and you run out of capital, but you've got a healthy business, which is most likely, right? So when you get a healthy business and you want investors, such as like maybe a bank to give you a loan, or Amazon also does give Amazon seller loans, as well as there are multiple other partners that we deal with. You can speak to us, we can introduce you to, who can give you loans for your Amazon business. Now these investors give you a loan based on interest, or maybe other investors like venture capitalists, or could be other investors like family, friends, and such and such. Now they will prefer to invest into a company or LLC rather than actually in you as a person, sole trader. If they're sending the money to yourself, to your personal account, what guarantee do they have they're going to ever get it back, or is going to be ever going to be used for the actual business? Just ask yourself. This is the ultimate truth behind the scene. That's how they're thinking. We've spoken to many, so we know. Now, if you're thinking about investors for a limited company or LLC, it's a lot more easier. Run an individual credit check on the actual company. They can check the health of the company in many different ways. They can check the actual value of the companies, depending on the actual company activities. There are many different ways they can actually, verify and clarify that it's the right business to invest to, and they smoothly, it goes through the process. It becomes a lot more achievable for yourself compared to being a sole trader, sole proprietor. The next reason come on my list is brand values. So brand values, if you are building a brand for your products on Amazon or outside Amazon through social media or the marketing, people will start to look into your brand. It could be your partners, such as like 3PL shipping company, or your suppliers who usually like to give you credit, such as like you can buy with 30% deposit and pay the 70% when the goods are delivered. You get this type of benefit when you're limited or LLC. Otherwise, if you're a sole proprietor, you usually are least likely to get it, because they will ask 100% upfront payment for your actual supplies. So the brand values are very important when it comes to Amazon or e-commerce business. Now, trust is something built through brand, and that brand obviously connects behind the scene to the actual ownership. Who owns the brand? What is the name of the owner? Basically, your personal name attached to it on the brand of the actual product. You want the actual limited company or LLC to create credibilities, and eventually when that brand scales, you can then start to take over market share, and people will start to notice that such and such company owns it. If it's just one person, it's not really a reinvestable, and it's not really something widely proven or looked at. Okay, now that you understand these, now I'm going to go to the next and my last reason of why you should switch. You must know exit plan. Exit plan is the one that you need to realize that you need to have from the beginning of the business. If you are trying to operate an Amazon business on a side hustle basis, forget it. It's not 2010 anymore. It's not even 2012 or 14 or 15 anymore. It's 2022 and onwards. It's becoming harder and harder and harder. You will be hit so hard with the challenges on Amazon business that you will end up giving up, or you will come at least close to it. Now, if you don't have a serious business plan or exit plan for the business, you are more likely to actually fight through the struggle and go ahead, learn from the actual failures, and then basically come back stronger to make the business successful. Now, exit plan can be set out to 2 to 5 years plan, that within the first 2 years you want to achieve such and such, and within the second 3 years you want to actually build a capital as well as the turnover, so you get a decent value end of 5 years. The exit plan is something only viable if you are a limited company or LLC. If you are a sole proprietor or sole trader, I'm afraid it's going to be a very tricky one if somebody actually is going to will to buy the business. There are multiple reasons behind it. I think I have taken enough time for me today. So I would recommend you choose a limited company or a LLC in the USA. Now, you can own either. If you're a USA resident, you can own a limited company in the UK. If you're a UK resident, you can own a limited company as an LLC in the USA. If you're from another country like Dubai, or maybe somewhere in Asia, or somewhere maybe in Africa, you can also own any other companies without any. Exit plan is something very important. You need to know how much you need to exit for. Do you exit for 5 million, 10 million, 100,000? Exit for 20 million, 50 million? This is something you need to have. You need to have a roadmap, a plan, and plan it with LLC. That will work out better for you in the end. So if you're looking to change the ownership or the type of actual Amazon account, if you already registered as a sole proprietor, hopefully this has helped you a lot to make the decision. And also, if you are looking to register and hopefully this video has cleared it out for you what you need to choose. Look, I'm not telling you should not at all as a sole proprietor or sole trader. You can do it if you want. That's your complete personal choice. But from the reasons I've given you, that should clarify that and actually get rid of the doubts that you have so far. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for following Sterlinx and watching the video. If you do need any help or advice with e-commerce accounting or VAT, either UK, USA or Europe, we cover it all. Give us a call or book us an appointment, and we will see you on the other side. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day ahead. Bye bye now.